Bloody hell. How can I defend this? How can I do my job? It's because I've really shit upon stories in the past. And I really, really want to shit on this story, but also defend it. And I don't know how. But hello, everybody, back again. How are you today? Hope you're well. You are being treated now, are you? No, nothing for months, man. 3 videos every one weekend. Yeah, but basically, this is my review for the launch of Season 24, Time and Rani. It's bad. It's embarrassingly bad. But I can't hate it. It really is a victim of circumstance. Basically, you know, the 7th Doctor starts, and by the way, this is an accurate life-size model of Sylvester McCoy. Yeah, it is. He is this tall in real life. I just thought I'd show me Sylvester McCoy figure. Why not? Basically, when I started watching Doctor Who around about 92, I think it would have been 93, I first saw Time and Rani on UK Gold. I convinced my mum I'd moved heaven and earth to put Doctor Who on UK Gold. She thought it was crap. And I moved heaven and earth to watch it because I knew it was Sylvester McCoy's first story, and I really wanted to watch it because I'd watched season 25 around a friend's house on VHS, so I thought it's going to be good. Of course it is. I was embarrassed. I was a 10-year-old boy embarrassed by what I was seeing on TV. Because it's basically Pip and Jane Baker basically had written this story for the 6th Doctor, Colin Baker. And originally, they were writing it as though this was going to be his regeneration story. Basically, how a character dies at the end. No spoilers as such, but how a character dies in the end is how the Doctor was originally going to die and regenerate. But obviously, Colin Baker got the sack. He wasn't coming back, so they had to do a regeneration scene. And they wrote out the regeneration scene and then his whole story without knowing who the Doctor was. Yeah, Sylvester McCoy hadn't been cast by this point, so they're writing a generic Doctor in the same sort of vein as Patrick Troughton, because that's what they were told by John Nathan Turner. And Sylvester McCoy can't save his life. There are good points to this story. I think the score by Kev McCulloch is fantastic. The CGI effects for the time are really good. For a BBC budget of £10.50, CGI effects in 1987 for Doctor Who are really good. Okay, they look dated now, but fuck it. Doctor Who CGI from 2005 looks dated now. You know, it's just how it is. CGI date, special effects date. But at the time, they're really good. And the spheres, the minds, etc., they are still really good. But yeah, Kev McCulloch's score is really good. And this is Hill I'm Going to Die On. I fucking love the theme tune for this era. One of my favourites. I think the opening credits are really gorgeous as well. I love the fact that it's got middle 8 in the opening theme as the TARDIS is traveling through space. And the middle 8 is the do, dee, 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 that bit, you know. I love that bit. I love that with Doctor winks as well in the opening credits. Kate O'Mara, she's phenomenal. I love the opening sequence. You know, you've got score building, you've got the Doctor on the floor, currently as the 6th Doctor, and he gets turned over, and it's mid-regeneration, and it's clearly Sylvester McCoy in a wig, and it goes downhill from there. I wish, still retain the same opening credits, but when we turn him over, he's already regenerated. It's Sylvester McCoy laying there, not Sylvester McCoy in a wig. Also, he's also the first actor to play 2 incarnations of a Doctor. He does technically play the 6th Doctor. Yeah. It's also the 3rd time we've had a pre-credit title sequence. and it's the first time we've had it with new material instead of archive. And you can tell I'm really trying to push the positives of the story, because fuck, there's a shit ton of bad stuff. Basically, the physical comedy is really bad. McCoy is a physical actor. It's what he does. He's an entertainer, and later scripts would play into McCoy's strengths. But here, how it's written, he does like comedy pratfalls, and it's not the only one. At one point, he wraps his scarf around Kate Mara and like forces her onto a table so he can escape, and it's just embarrassing to watch. Some of the actors in it do look embarrassing. Andrew Cartmel would come on as script editor halfway through the shoot. He hated the script, detested it. He didn't want his name on there as script editor. He detested it, and I can see why. He didn't get on Pip and Jane Baker. It's just the last time third right for the show. I feel sorry for them, because they had to put up with a lot of shit in their stories. Going all the way back to Mark of Varane, their thing was to introduce a new Time Lord, or Time Lady, as in Varane. And then at the last minute they got told to put in the Master. And then obviously you had Trial of the Time Lord, and then Time in Varane. They were given a shit hand with their scripts. So that's one of the reasons why I can't hate the story. It is monumentally bad. It is embarrassing. It deserves every single piece of criticism the show gets, or the story gets. It deserves every single one. And I am going to give it a low score later. But I can't hate it, because it is a victim of circumstance. The next story, Paradise Towers, is where Andrew Cartmel really makes the show his own, as does McCoy. McCoy doesn't seem to know how to play the Doctor yet by this point. Basically, nobody knows how to play the Doctor, because it wasn't written for McCoy, it's written for a generic actor. And if you watch the audition tapes with David Fielder and I forgot his name, something Crowley, Kenneth Crowley, I think. Sylvester McCoy is clearly the best one, and how he plays the Doctor in the audition tapes is how we would later see his Seventh Doctor. But here, there's nothing. It's just comedy pratfalls. I like the fact that Sylvester McCoy is able to play with spoons as the Doctor, and at one point he actually plays them on Varane's tits. Seriously, it's awkward but funny, and she does slap him for it, Varane. So yeah, he doesn't have much in the way of chemistry with Bonnie Langford, but I can't blame either of them for that. You know, she was filming with Colin Baker. She thought she'd come back into this with Colin Baker's Doctor. Chemistry would be there from next door, but Mo does scream a lot in this one. Seriously, it gives you a headache, and I can't say I was surprised when people stopped watching after this. I think I would have done, to be honest. If I was a fan in 1987 and this is what greeted me, I'd have given up by this point. I'd just been like, the show's dead, and moved on. But I still can't bring myself to hate it, because it's a victim of circumstance. It was never supposed to be the story we see on screen. The model works are good. The save score's good. CGI's good. Kate Mara's fantastic. Still love the fucking theme tune and the opening credits. But I think the story as a whole, I'm going to give it 2 out of 10. It's a disastrous launch for the season. And to be honest, it's probably my least watched season 24 story. It's the only one I sort of watch as and when I have to. It's easily the worst story for a new Doctor. Absolutely. Twin Dilemma blows it out of part of this one. Which is a shame. The last thing was shown here at this point in time was a disastrous launch. And here it is, a disastrous launch. Still, better things are to come. Seventh Doctor is here. I didn't do my annual The Doctor is Dead, Long Live the Doctor. Well, I can do it now, because technically the Sixth Doctor does die in this one, so yeah. The Doctor is dead. Long live the Doctor. My next review will be for Paradise Towers. I don't know when that'll be. possibly next week, week after. Definitely the week after at the latest. And all you Brits during the Jubilee celebrations, have fun, I suppose. I'm not. I couldn't give a rat's arse either way. Just thought I'd share that. Well done, Queen, for being in charge for 70 years. Your son wants you dead. See you all soon. Bye.